Alright, guys. It's Sunday. It is Sunday art day. I don't know what they did to this incense, but it does not smell the same. It smells different. And I can't put my finger on what it is. One of the scents smells stronger than it used to. Or maybe I'm just fucking crazy. That's a good possibility. Oh my god, that's the easiest time I've ever had lighting a match. Wow. That was amazing. Which probably means this incense stick's not going to stay lit. Because, you know. Why would it? Ooh. I feel like I just got smoke or ashes or something in my eye. That wasn't fun. Alright. So, here we are. We're actually starting early for a change. Oh my goodness. I'm awake. In the very technical sense that I am sitting upright and not sleeping. So, oh boy. So, last week, we finished up the base of our tree, and we got, that might have been the week before, but we got the highlights in on our tree nonetheless. We got a couple little white highlights. I don't think the camera's picking those up though, because it's very similar to the light brown that's under it. But that's okay, because when we're all done, we're going to do photos. And you might be able to see it a little bit. But we also got our shoreline put in. That's all nice and dry. As this thing is scooting all over. Scooty scoot scoots. I don't think I have anything to keep it from sliding forward. Don't see anything I can grab quickly. No, we could use my little Debbie zebra. My little Debbie zebra squishy. That'll work. We have a little Debbie outlet near us. And I got him as a little travel squish. Just to give my hands something to do. So today we're going to start on our tree. We're actually going to try to give the tree some life. We're gonna try. I don't know how much of the branch we're gonna end up covering. There's a good chance all this could get covered. We'll see what happens. I'm just getting some glue in our little water bottle cap here. Let's go with that for starters. We're still on that same bottle of glue. I haven't opened the new one yet. That bottle of glue had a lot more in there than I expected. Alright, so as Bob always likes to tell us, right? We need to start with dark before we can show the light. So we're gonna pull out some dark paper. And because we can't do it all on one brush, so not with how we're doing. We're gonna try to make this work. Don't know how it's gonna go. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. So I'm gonna try not to get too carried away and put too much glue down. because since it's going on top of other paper, there's a good chance that it might soak in before we get to it. So we're going to try to do this in smaller sections. But even so, we still need to rinse our brush out. Get all the glue out of there. So we don't want the glue drying in the brush. Even though it's a messed up brush, we're using it for glue because it's messed up, so. Sticky. My stick. Alright. So this is probably going to involve multiple layers of paper. And that's okay. We might not get to the other things that I wanted to get to today. We're gonna try. But it depends on how the tree goes, really. So we'll see how this lays in here. I'm liking the texture with the clouds behind it though. But yeah, the tree could take a little bit because it's going to take a little bit of fussing. It's going to take some layers. You know, no one said this was going to be a quick project. If you were here looking for a quick project, and I apologize because we're on week, what is this, 11? So apologies, but hopefully we can get to the other stuff. And I'm just kind of making our small squares of paper a little bit smaller, just to make them a little bit easier to manage in here. Because it's less glue wasted in the end for me, and it's just easier to get it to do what you want it to do, or at least for me. If you would rather go with the bigger pieces, then that's up to you. Stylus wants to just roll all over the place. It thinks it's a roly-poly-oly. Alright. See, unfortunately, Bob's method's a lot faster than this. Well, I guess fortunately for those that are doing this in oil, unfortunately for us, because it doesn't quite work that way when you're doing it this way. That makes sense. I know what I mean. Like I said, I might be awake in the sense that I am upright and out of bed. It was a terrible day trying to sleep. Or terrible time trying to sleep, so we get those. They happen. actually feel like I never slept. I mean, I had to have because time passed, but it doesn't feel like I did. But it's so much cooler. It started to cool off last night. Well, yesterday afternoon. It's actually a breeze going. Oh, it was lovely. And, they're talking about that parts of our area could be in the 50s on Monday. Like, what? It's been 90 plus and 100 plus degree feels like temperatures, and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, you're gonna be in the 50s on Monday. Excuse you? Say that's it. It's wonderful to an extent, but at the same time, I'm like cringing because it's like, oh god, how sick am I gonna be tomorrow with my neck if the temperature's gonna drop that hard, that fast? Like, what? I think they're saying we could have some thunderstorms tomorrow because we do have a cold front coming through. Little zebra, you're supposed to keep things from shifting around here. Alright, let's actually try to zoom this in a little bit. Just to give y'all a little bit better of an idea where we're at. Sorry, again, I have to do a manual zoom because we don't have an auto zoom on this setup. So apologies. But the camera image is a bit better than the other camera, so if we want it all, then donations need to go up because I don't have the money for a camera that's going to do all of it. And I won't for some time. Just saying. So it's starting to look a bit more tree-like. A little bit. So don't forget to fire up whatever music you want to listen to. Viewer's choice in your own location, in a manner of speaking. That way everybody's happy with the music selection. I am currently listening to 7 channels? No. It's been a while since I've heard this song. Vertical Horizon. I do have 7 channel stuff, but it's not this song. Wow, it's been a long time since I've listened to this. Listening to Send It Up from Vertical Horizon. Realized I hadn't really been giving this playlist much love lately after I worked on it. I probably should. But for copyright reasons, we can't play that on the air. So sorry, guys. I don't want to get DMCA'd and lose my channel. So you listen to what you want to listen to, and I'll listen to what I want to listen to, and everybody will be happy. Alright. Scraped the microphone with my paintbrush. Very professional. Sorry about that. Ow! My neck just popped. Oh, ungodly. Oh my god. That was loud. It was very loud in my head. Oh shit. Didn't really hurt yet, but it was concerningly loud. Oh my goodness. I hope that's okay. It's been a very neck poppy couple of days here, and I don't know why. But it certainly has. Sorry, my brain goes into autopilot sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. Apologies if you're new here and are unaware of this. It can be quite jarring at times. Husband and I like to equate my brain to Gurr from Invader Zim. It's a thing. And I understand Gurr on a whole new level. Probably a deeper level than most people. I am Gurr. Alright. Let's make waffles. Alright. No, let's not make waffles. I'm full. I'm not hungry right now for a change. Alright. So, kind of just letting the paper do what it wants to do as we're laying it in here. I mean, I'm manipulating it a little bit, but if it folds over on itself, that's fine. It's just going to add to the leafy texture, kind of like our shrub hedge line down in here. And I am kind of tapping down in the crevices of the clouds underneath just to try to make sure this is gonna grip properly. Because that would be bad if it didn't actually grip. But I do love... Oh, don't breathe on the tissue paper, it'll fly away. I do love the texture and the depth that the clouds underneath the tree leaves are giving this. It is bumping it out, and I am here for that. As I keep breathing on the tissue paper, and it keeps fluttering around. No, let go. I got a little bit of glue on my finger. And now it just wants to hold on to everything. Everything, I tell you. Okay. And someone keeps revving their car engine. Oh, maybe it was a motorcycle. Because it's becoming very distracting. Could have been a motorcycle. It's a very busy traffic day. Oh, happy Father's Day to everybody. Hang on, I gotta cut this thing off on my desk because it is effing maddening. The little linoleum strip on the edge of my desk was coming off, and I tried to tape it back down, and my hand just kept catching it. Cracking, angering. All sorts of eclectic music on this playlist. Everything from music from soundtracks to Linkin Park to Vertical Horizon. So what's some of the music that you guys like to listen to? Enlighten me. Willing to give some things a try. I'm not a big fan of rap music though. I'm just not. I can't follow what the hell they're saying, so then I get annoyed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm out. So, if I can't understand what they're saying, then totally not gonna be able to listen to it, but that's just me being really slow to follow. Alright. More glue. Now, I think I had planned originally on bringing this down past this stuff, because there's where I cut off the highlight. Unless I need to re-highlight. I mean, if we need to, we could extend the highlight. So we're going to need to get some more glue in our little cap here. Because we've certainly grabbed just about all I can grab out of there. I'm just using like a plastic food storage container to rinse the brush in, because I didn't want to rinse it in my other water well because of, you know, glue. But there's like a little raised up bump in the bottom. I kind of want to try those silicone pucks. The suction to the bottom of your water dish to rub your brushes against to try to get the paint out. I really want to try those. I'm feeling it might be a little more effective. At doing what I want it to do. Like, why does my arm feel wet? Because I'm leaning it into the paper towel I'm wiping. Wiping my brush on, and I'm like, what is happening over here? Keep picking my arm up and looking at it like, arm what? Because I know that it's from that, but it's still not fully registering, and I'm just like, why? It feels cold. Okay, look here. There we go. We'll have the zebra butt. We could do the zebra face. Zebra face is probably more appropriate. Just don't eat that. That's not food. Alright, zebra buddy. I don't know if the zebra has a name. I don't think I named it. I don't think he came with a name. He might, and I just don't know what it is. Let me know if the Little Debbie zebra actually does have an official name. If he does, I don't know it. I mean, we could look it up. But I don't want our glue to dry, so if you all know what it is, feel free to let me know, and then this will also become a learning experience. In more than one way. Needs to be a little bit smaller. Alright. So not looking too shabs. Alright, so we're gonna bring that down a little bit further. Let's get some more glue going here. Yeah, I think we're gonna maybe come around in here. Maybe extend it out a little bit further. I mean, we need room to work here. There's glue in there, I promise. It's there. Well, eventually it will get there. Alright. Let's load up our glue receptacle. And what's nice about using this is that when the glue dries, I can scrape it with a pair of tweezers and pull it out of there if I so choose. Okay. Sorry, it's gonna be a scattered brain today because of how tired I am. That's just the way it's gonna be. Alright, this tapped in here. So, I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't remember much of my weekend. Oh, that's right. My back was being cranky still. It was starting to do good. I was starting to feel back to normal, and we went for our walk, and there's not a very steep hill. It's keep tapping the microphone, sorry. There's not a very steep hill on the one street that we walk on, but it's kind of gradual, but you still feel that you're going up a hill, or at least I do, because I'm terribly out of shape. And we haven't been walking the hill lately, and we tried to walk it yesterday, and we got about a third of the way up, and my back's just like, no, we're not doing this. And I was like, but we're already partially up it. We can't just change our mind now. And my back's like, no, no, like everything like seized up, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? So yeah, it was not happy. If we walk tonight, we're not gonna be able to do the hill, because I was terribly uncomfortable after we got home and rested for a little bit. I managed to get a few dishes washed, but didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and my back's like, nope, you're done. And then I went and sat down and ended up playing Minecraft for the rest of the night because I couldn't concentrate on everything else. The back was just angry. Oh, you know, I gotta find someplace else to put this microphone. I keep hitting it, I keep tapping it, and you guys with the earbuds on are probably screaming at me. What the hell are you doing? I don't normally have it sitting right there. Let's move it over there. That way I'm less likely to hit it with the paintbrush and my stylus. Let's try that. Just turn it a little bit so it can pick me up a little bit better. So, this heat wave that we've been in has been awful. I mean, I know some people have had it way hotter than us. I'm not discrediting that. Our flowers are withering. I don't know if that's just because they're reaching the end of their cycle or if the heat got them. I kind of feel like it's the heat, although it could be the cycle because I've had a whole bunch explode that I didn't even know were out there. They're so pretty. Some of the rest of the ones that they're mixed in with are half dead, but they're so pretty. Our elephant ears are doing pretty good. They're starting to get all their leaves coming in. Now I just need to get them a little bit taller. They got super tall last year. Like, I feel like they were almost as tall as me. Not quite as tall, but, you know, maybe chest high. I'm like, what, 5'2", 5'3"? Maybe shorter now. Because scoliosis and not being able to stand up straight and gravity and age and all that shit. I'm not a spring chicken. I might be a chicken, but I'm not a spring one, that's for sure. Husband's enjoying his crabs that he got. To look at, not to eat. He likes hermit crabs. He's always been a huge fan of that, so that was his early birthday present. Because it's been a couple of months that have felt like longer than a couple of months, so I know he takes great joy in them. So we got him squared away with that. We still have to make a vet appointment for the one doggo, because we actually found a third bump on him. We're not sure it's anything. It's probably just fatty tissue, but we wanna make sure. Because doggo, I mean, he's not acting like he's ill, but the other one, I think they just said it was some kind of cyst or something. But we just want to make sure that doggo's doing okay and that we're not missing something. because we're not vets. And we need to get our car serviced. But we need the parentals to not have something going on so we can actually take the car in to get it serviced, which is a whole nother thing in of itself. I think the only thing we have going on this week, my mom's having her cataract surgery redone, or refreshed, I guess. It's been years since she had the other one. Because they didn't want to go through getting her new glasses if it was the cataract thing, because new glasses aren't really gonna do much. If that's the case. We got my dad lunch, because we didn't know what the fuck else to get him. My dad's very hard to buy for. All the stuff that we've gotten him in the past, you know, to try to eliminate boredom, to give him something to do, he hasn't bothered with. So he like bothered with it for like a day, and then he was like done with it, and we're like, you haven't touched this in a while, what's wrong with it? So it was just better just to get him lunch, because then we knew we weren't like throwing money away basically on a something he wasn't going to use. Like, we understand if it's an outdoor thing and it's too hot for him to use it outdoors at this moment, but then he would never go and use it. So we even bought stuff to make a little obstacle course in the backyard for his RC car. He hasn't touched that in I don't know how fucking long. Russell even got a little one to run around with him out there, and he still didn't really show any interest in wanting to go use it. So we're like, okay. And he doesn't travel well, so we can't just, you know, take him somewhere. It's a three-ring circus trying to take him anywhere because of all the stuff he needs. Plus he's on oxygen again, so that makes traveling a little bit more... I don't want to say difficult, but maybe difficult is the right word. It takes a lot more planning. Because, well, he did finally get a portable oxygen tank that makes its own oxygen now. Before it was piggybacking off the main system, which was problematic. Definitely limited the range on which he could travel from the unit, and for how long. The portable battery life isn't that great, and I don't know how long it takes to charge. But then his myriad of medications, and I'm not sure if the insulin he's on right now has to be refrigerated. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what one they've got him on at the time. But he's got, like, we only have a small car, so for us to take him anywhere, it's a production, put it that way. Although a small trip would probably be less of a production than it was moving him down here, but it'd still be a production. Especially with, that's one of the reasons why you have to clean your stylus, because it gets gunky. Especially with the nurses coming in to check his legs, and it's a lot. And then he can't really sit very long in the car at a stretch. He needs to get up and move every couple of hours, and all the other medication he's on. Traveling's not good for him. My dad's the type where everything's a fucking problem, even if we find a solution for it. Because we had talked about trying to take him to go see some boat races, even in the middle of Central Arkansas. I don't think that would work. It would end up being like an entire weekend thing. Or we'd have to go down a day ahead of time. So instead I try to find him stuff online that's being simulcast or live streamed. So he can at least watch it that way. So we tried to take him to Florida with us the last time we went, but he kind of balked at the idea, and we're like, "You're sure?" And he was like, "No, no, no." Instead, I think he spent the week overfeeding the cats because they wanted to eat when our house sitter and dad sitter wasn't here and was at work. Alright. We're getting there. You know what? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I think we need a little bit more glue. Hold that thought, Ed. I just have a paper towel off to the side that I'm blotting my brush on, so I just can't see it. Alright, let's get some more glue going here. Probably be a good idea. Oh, don't be falling everything. Time for a little Fallout Boy, apparently, according to my playlist. Alright. So our tree's filling in pretty good. I think I'm going to bring it down just a little bit further. And then maybe we'll leave a gap there. I think we're going to extend it just a little bit further there. Give him a good amount of hair. Come on. Alright. Amazes me how slow this glue comes out. But that could be that we need to clear the nozzle. So, like, both my hands and arms are shaking, trying to squeeze this out. Yeah, we could have a nozzle cloggage. It happens. But it's pretty easy to fix. Alright. So, let's get a little bit more glue down here. Alright. Sorry. I saw a little piece of glue hanging off my finger, and it was like instant, oh, let's remove. try to remember my own words here about not going too far in one go here. Alright, let's scrub with the brush. Scrubby the brush. Okay. Stylus. I am just a magnet for all of the fuzz in this house today, it would seem. So I am working on another piece offline. I think I showed it to you guys last week with the lobster trap floats. Haven't gotten too much more done on it since then. I got a little bit, but not a terribly large amount. That one I am recording offline. Wow, that wind is kicking out there. I guess they're not joking about a cold front coming through. All of the wind chimes are going. I know I saw on the Weather Channel it just says thunderstorms tomorrow morning. And I think cloudy in the afternoon. Oh, of course that can change between then and now. But I don't know what they mean by thunderstorms in the morning. Is that after midnight? Or is that like more towards like the 8 a.m. and beyond morning? Because AM could mean very different things. Alright. So I'm not gonna get too fussy with the smooshing. I don't want it to rip or lift up like we had happened earlier. Which is why we have to remember to check on the glue buildup on our stylus friend. See? Oh, almost pulled it out of my holder here. I've noticed it's gotten loose, and I've tried to pull it all the way out, and it doesn't seem like it's going to, so that's good. Because I went to wipe the glue off of it the other night, and it like slid, and I was like, oh, did I break it already? Really? It's like, dang, now I'm gonna have to go get toothpicks, but, or try to glue it back together. But it doesn't seem to be going past that certain point, so there might be a stop in there to keep it from doing that, but, you know, heck, for $1. For $1, this little guy's been proving his worth 10 times over. We were actually at the dollar store the other day. I should have grabbed another one. Planet Zoo's coming out with a new DLC tomorrow. I don't know how much it's going to be yet, though. The price might be listed and I just missed it. That's possible, because, you know, I'm not the most observant critter. Especially when I've got a shit ton of other stuff going on. Oh, and Midsummer Fire Festival starts tomorrow too for World of Warcraft. So at some point tonight I need to hopefully Wowhead puts their update out tonight. I don't know if they're going to. Sometimes they don't put it out till later in the day. I think it depends on how busy they are with new stuff. And I know they've been pretty busy posting 9.1 stuff. So I can't get too lost in Planet Zoo tomorrow until I deal with Fire Festival stuff. So definitely need to take care of that. Before we hop on into that one. Don't know if I'm going to live stream that tomorrow. I might start to make a new zoo entrance, and then maybe we'll stream the rest of it. I don't know. I don't think I'm streaming tomorrow, regardless. Tuesday's out because husband has D&D. Since he'll actually be able to make it to the game this week. Last week he had to cancel because parental appointments were crazy. Sorry about the tapping and the scraping. That is canvas tapping on the surface it's sitting on. And part of the whole experience. Painting ASMR. If I had a good microphone. No, I don't think I could even. I couldn't do that because the amount of paint that you would need to waste. For palette scraping. Oh, that would kill me. We'd have to do a painting while doing it. I hate wasting art supplies, craft supplies. It kills me. Excuse me. That little part of me that's like, this was expensive. Do you know how expensive this was? Even when I'm going to use it for something, I'm like, don't waste it. No, I'll leave the AMSR stuff. And I totally put those letters in the wrong order. Yes, I'm dyslexic, you guys, and I transpose stuff. Welcome if you're new here. Did I put them in the wrong order? ASMR? Is that what I said? Or did I say AMS? I don't know. My brain hurts now. Whatever it is, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'll leave that to those people that know what the fuck they're doing. I would get too bored. I know me. I would get way too bored and be like bouncing after 10 minutes and be like, okay, I'm done. Can't sit here and do this for hours. See, I've got other things I need to do. That and the dogs in the background would probably ruin it. And, you know, other house noises. It is not quiet in this house. I do not have a stream studio that is soundproof. The traffic and the animals and people and that really wouldn't work. You need... Uh-oh. Excuse you. My keyboard tray just shifted. Felt like it was falling into my lap. Like, what? excuse me, allergies. But yeah, that would, you know, the motorcycle going past the house, that would probably totally kill everything. And then the, you know, the ambulances going by and fire rescue throughout the day, although I haven't heard any yet today, which is odd because the other night, man, the other night we started hearing all kinds of sirens at like 2 in the morning. Husband couldn't sleep, I couldn't sleep, so we're sitting here messaging each other back and forth because he was in a different room. So we're almost done with our dark layer here. We're getting there. Doesn't look too shabs. As I'm slowly shifting the canvas all over. Need this sucker locked down to the table. Oh, Mr. Zebra. I want to call him Zed. I really don't know if he has a name. I dubbed thee Zed the Zebra. Alright, so we got another little smaller, and then I think we might take it out a little bit further over here, and then we'll move on to another color. But we're not going to need a whole bunch in the other color. I don't think. Alright, dry off our brushy. Alright. I try to use the same paper towel for a couple weeks at a time when I'm just blotting the brush off on it, just drying it, because we're not using so much water where it's going to be a problem. Alright. Not looking too bad. I'm actually pretty happy with how this has come out so far, on the whole. I was a little uncertain if we were going to be able to get this to look somewhat right. But, gotta say, so far, so good. Oh, it's time for a little Phil Collins. Alright. push everything together. Put it all down in those crevices. Does that look too weird with the hole there? Kinda looks a little weird. Kinda does. Alright. We will fix it. We have the power to fix it. Like, I wasn't sure how that was gonna look, and I kind of figured that branch was gonna end up getting nixed. Just had a feeling that was the way it was gonna go. Had to remember to clear the nozzle on the glue bottle. This bottle's still kicking. I'm actually amazed it's still kicking. 'Cause I've done a whole nother huge ass project. And that was a lot of glue. Plus this one. Oh, it's like soft serve ice cream. Except it's not holding its shape. And that's okay. Alright, so yeah, it just looks funny. At first I was like, oh, we'll have a little bit of branch peeking through, but yeah, not a fan with how it looks. But that's alright, so we can change it. We can change it. We have the power. Alright, so I wanted to extend it out a little bit further in here. Actually, I don't know if this is Phil Collins or Genesis. This could be Genesis. I mean, it's still him singing, but and one was his band and the other is just him solo. See what that's gonna look like. Scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. Alright. So you guys getting to watch me do this in real time, see a little bit of what I do when I'm not streaming. Trying to figure out, do I like this? Am I okay with this? Am I really not okay with this? Do we need to change this? It's a process. It really can be quite the process. Alright. Get this guy squished in here. Alright, so again, this is just tacky glue and tissue paper. Nothing fancy on the tissue paper. It's not the bleeding tissue paper. You don't need to put out that kind of money for this. This is not extra pigmenty paper that's going to release its pigment. You don't want that for this, because when you go to put your sealant over top of it, the wetness from the sealant could potentially release that and then just make a god-awful mess. So this is just like gift bag tissue paper. It's nothing fancy. It's really not. Mr. Zed, you're supposed to fall asleep on the job, Mr. Zed. You're supposed to be helping hold the fort in place here. Alright. So we'll see what this looks like after get these last few pieces popped into place here, and then we might be moving on to the next color. Get all this tapped in. Alright, almost there on this color. And we still have a few others. To do a quick cleaning of our stylus here. Make sure we don't have too much glue building up on that. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at what that looks like in camera. Yeah, I think that's good on the dark color. We'll start to branch into our mid color now. So let's get our bag with the dark green. we will slip that somewhere. I don't have enough clothespins. How do I not have enough clothespins? We have like an epic ton of them. Alright. I think I'll just add you to that pile. Okay. So this will go with our medium green mix. Okay. So we need to figure out where we want our medium green to kind of start to lay here. Oh, we got some Pat Benatar now. Shadows of the Night. Okay. Let's start with that. And blotty blot the brushy brush. As I'm dropping things. So we're gonna see how this looks, because we've got this kind of medium, mid-ranged green that we're gonna start working in on top of this dark green. And we'll start layering the colors over other colors. Sometimes they can take on a whole different shade than you anticipated, depending on how opaque your color is, but you know, it's tissue paper, so it's not really going to be all that opaque here. So if you're really looking for the shade that the paper actually is 100%, you might find that you need to do a second layer in those spots. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you know, if you're disappointed in the shade that's coming up, you can do a second layer. It's fine. Tissue paper police aren't going to show up and barge in and be like, you can't do that. Fuck that. That's what you want to do. I mean, it's your project. In the end, it is your project. Alright. Zed's doing his best to try to keep this thing from sliding around. Don't graze on the tree though, Zed. That's not real grass. Or not real leaves. You'll be in for a rude awakening there, buddy. Now we can't cover up all of our dark. We need some of that to be peeking on through. In some spots. Which is probably a little bit more of a challenge to do in this method than with paint. But we're gonna do our darndest. And see what we can come up with. Like the top, there probably shouldn't be that much dark in because, you know, the top of the tree should be lighter because of the sun and all that, so. Work on getting that laid in. Alright. Let's go ahead and clean up our brush. Okay. So we'll just say we're just chilling here on this Sunday afternoon. Working on some things and stuff, and this time I elbowed the microphone. Fantastic. Fantastic. And my arms, I'm just a hot mess. I don't have enough room. Tight quarters, tight quarters. Even if I had a bigger desk, I'd probably still have everything everywhere. I do miss my drafting table. I do regret not bringing that. Though I don't know if I really would have had anywhere to put it, but I do regret not bringing it. But nothing I can do about that now, because we don't really have the room for it. And I'm streaming off of my gaming PC, so the drafting table would have to be somewhere close to it, because I don't have two different computers to do this on, and that would be a nightmare. nightmare of expense and a nightmare of just everything. But yeah, the computer desk and the drafting table would have had to have been pretty much right next to each other in order for things to reach and to be able to keep an eye on all of it. And we don't have that kind of space. That's not gonna happen in this house. It ain't happening. Alright. Work on getting all of this put in here. Wow, this set of glue is drying right quick here. See the glue balling up on the end of the stylus. I'm like, don't pull it up, don't pull it up. Emergency cleaning of the stylus. Alright. Still feels like there's bit of tackiness on the end of that. Could just be my imagination though. I mean, that's possible. Okay, so I think we're gonna bring a little bit down into here. All of the fuzz. So we don't need that much fuzz in there. We need some more glue in our little cap here. Yes, we are. Alright. Oh. Don't want to waste any. Alright. That's probably all we're gonna get that's usable out of that one, because it was starting to get pretty tacky in our bottle cap. Alright, so scrub on the bottom, kind of wipe the extra water off on the side. And then, wow, traffic's definitely kind of heavy out there today. Then just blot it on the towel. Just kind of tucking this into all the cracks. I'm kind of doing the same method to a degree that we did the shrub line with, but not exactly, but similar, just kind of smushing it down in there wherever it wants to gather and fold up on itself. That's fine. Gives it more of a leafy look in those spots. It's bunched up a bit. Alright. And we'll work on getting all of this tapped in. Alright. Probably get a smaller piece in there. I do not remember the song at all. Who is this? Oh, okay. There's two bands I have that sound really similar to me. I'm sure the well-trained hardcore fan that knows every riff would say I'm fucking crazy, but every so often we'll hit like a song where I'm like, is that them or is that them? And in reality, they don't really sound that similar, but at times I'll be expecting it to be the one, and I'm like, this song doesn't sound familiar for them. I can't place it. And I actually look at it and I'm like, ooh, right. What is all of this crap all over the front of my shirt? Oh, I think I might need to get some packing tape on the edge of this desk. My desk is falling apart. It is a mess. There is fur and little tiny glue bits and little pieces of paper everywhere. The linoleum is coming up like crazy. I've doodled in some of the spots where the linoleum has come up. Why? I don't know. I felt like it. It was my desk. Who cares, right? So I'm a little disappointed at, damn. I'm a little disappointed at how this desk has performed, considering how much it cost. I've had cheaper desks that performed a little bit better. I've had art desks that performed better than this, but then again, this is a computer desk. It's not really an art desk, so maybe I'm just trying to multitask too hard with a surface that wasn't meant for it. That's entirely possible. Not gonna lie there. But for the cost of this desk, I'm a little disappointed that the linoleum, or laminate, I guess it would be laminate. Laminate, I don't know why I keep calling it linoleum. Linoleum is floor stuff. I'm a little disappointed that the laminate just peeled up so bad. Because this desk isn't that old. I mean, I've had it for a little while, but it's not like it's 20 years old or anything. Probably will be by the time I get rid of it, because I'm not going to have money to replace it. Ideally, I would love it if we had a bedroom that I could just set up as our computer workroom, where I could have computer desk and then drafting table, and then be able to just move the live cams over to the art desk drafting table thingy and be able to function with that one over there, and have my computer desk right next to it. Could shove Russ's computer in there. Just have all of that in one designated spot. Have the room to do it. Closets for storage. A door to keep the cats out of there, so that way I can put shelves on the wall and put stuff on the shelves. Can't really do shelves in here because Cow loves to climb, and he would be up there in a heartbeat, and everything that would be up there would be on the floor. I know this cat. You'll just have to take my word for it. He loves to be up high. He's very much a cat. Wanting to survey his domain from the heights of his kingdom. So I can't really have any shelves to store stuff on. At least not that are attached to the wall. We don't really even have a closet that I can use for supply storage. I have a little plastic cart with drawers next to me, and I have some storage containers under my desk. That's about all the storage I really have. I mean, we don't even have a closet for our clothes, so our clothes are in storage containers and a little tiny, like, floor standing shelf. It's not attached to the wall. I think it's, like, really supposed to be, like, some kind of, like, floor standing half-ass bookcase that doesn't have a back on it, doesn't really have sides on it except for, like, 2 middle bars. And just our clothes kind of folded onto it. At least the clothes that we're currently wearing. Stuff that's off season or that we're not wearing very often are in the other 2 storage containers. Sorry, I saw another piece of glue on my finger. It's like, oh, it's gotta go. Not only is it distracting to me, the tissue paper will stick to it. And it won't come off my fingers. Hey, we've been there, we've done that. I think I might leave that piece open there where that little speck is. Alright. Take this section up this way. So what movement that you see on the tissue paper, with it shifting around a little bit as I'm trying to put this next layer of glue down, those are going to be the spots that didn't actually get any glue on the edges, that just kind of folded over on itself and was like, okay, I live here now. So that's not a huge deal. The next round of glue on top of that we'll take care of that. Oh, my nose is missily today. All of the allergies. So apologies if the nose whistles came across. It's a thing. I'm never really 100% sure what this microphone is going to decide to pick up and what it's not. Alright. Clean the brush, clean the brush, cleany, 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 brush, brush, brush. Clean the brush. Okay. So we will stick him there. Alright. And we'll get back to laying in this color. Somewhat successfully, I hope. Particle Horizon has some decent stuff. Or at least they did. This is an old album. And I feel like a cat is moving around next to me. I could be very wrong about this. No, okay, just my imagination. Something else shifting then, and I'm sure I'll find out what it is when it falls. Like somebody else. Alright. Work on that. Well, that would be cute. Maybe we'll do a nursery rhyme series. Or where we'll do like different nursery rhyme scenes. That might be fun. Do like the cow jumping over the moon. And the dish running away with the spoon. Should be able to do that, right? Without too much trouble? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. could use it for inspiration. That's a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Alright. So we're probably going to try to put the time in today. This is probably going to be a longer session. What time is it? It's almost 3. Just getting that all smooshed in. Okay. Alright, so. You alright there, Zed? Keep an eye on things. So need some more glue. We definitely need some more glue. We gotta let the glue filter down. Maybe. Just a maybe. It's like molasses. Although molasses might move faster, I'm not entirely certain. Alright. Let's get some more glue going here. So for those that can't stay for all of this today, and for those that may have missed the beginning parts of this project, the rest of this series from the beginning is going to be over on my YouTube channel, NiseyBGN, same name as over here. And there's some old game playthroughs on there as well. I'm trying to remember to send over the current game stuff that we're doing. So if I actually remember to start doing that, there'll be definitely a gap jump. But I've got some Wild Challenges stuff over there, some Stardew Valley, and we've got some art stuff too. Alright. I don't know if we're gonna put any of the yellowy green on there. Might be a little much. So we'll see. We'll see. I do need to remember to send over my bloodthirsty and current WoW challenges stuff, because there's a huge gap over there on that, and I do apologize for that. I don't always remember to export the things. I need to export them and just leave them as private until the till 24 hours later when I can post it somewhere else. And just schedule it to post at the appropriate time over there. But I did move some stuff around playlist-wise, if you are familiar with the channel. I got rid of the Tin Man and Iron Man playlist and just put everything together under one WoW Challenges playlist. So, if you used to watch those playlists and now they're like, oh, they're gone, where did they go? I didn't get rid of the stuff on there, I just moved it. Just for ease of taking care of it. And my brain was like, hey, we should really do this and get off our lazy butt and do it. And that actually took me several hours. Probably wouldn't have taken me that long, but I had to stop in between and go do some other stuff, and distraction land happened. Alright. So far, so good here. Getting our mid-range green in, and then we'll come back in with our lighter green. Now our lighter green is similar, if no, you know what, I think it is the same color as our light color in the hedgerow, and I'm okay with that, that's fine. I did think putting in that yellow and green color might look a little off, because I really only have it in that one spot. I'm kind of kicking myself for only putting it in that one spot now, because that very much looks like a misshapen sun behind the roof of the building, but you know, I guess if that's what it wants to be, then that's what it's gonna be. Because I can't hold the tissue paper. I'm dropping it everywhere. Alright. Everything's sticking to me. Okay. Alright, look here, Zed. Falling asleep on the job. Zed's not holding our piece in place very well. Probably expecting way too much from an inanimate object. But who knows? Maybe I'm not. definitely not what he was trained to do. So I am asking him to step out of his profession. Getting this tapped in. Probably have to do a little bit more. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I might have had just enough for that layer. Alright. Scrubby the brushy, scrubby the brushy. Need some epic scrubbing brush music. Alright. Stick you over there. And then Fall Out Boy starts playing. I don't think that's quite the epic scrubbing the brush music that I was talking about. Could you imagine? Pyrotechnics going off in the background as your paintbrush is being scrubbed. Be like a whole Super Bowl halftime show. Wow! Girls half naked in their little skimpy outfits, all scrubbing their paintbrushes. Fireworks going off. All of the product placements ever in the background. This halftime show was brought to you by Michaels, Joann Fabrics, and Hobby Lobby, who all believe in the importance of brush care. My goodness. My brain is broken, so oh, crap. I have problems. Welcome to my world. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nisey. And I am deranged. This tapped in on the side. Sorry, I'm just envisioning like dance numbers now with these huge people in paintbrush costumes and splash pads and paintbrushes going down slides into water, and just talking whole theme park level shenanigans. So I wonder if there was a craft themed theme park, if you'd actually be able to get crafters to go on it, or to go to it. Would they be like too much in there? I am not leaving my craft room to go to this. This is money I could be using on craft supplies, or, you know, have craft a days giveaways, and, you know, get people into the park by handing out palettes or paintbrushes or storage options. Storage options would definitely be a big draw. You know that would. Storage is expensive. Especially once they start slapping the word craft on it. You could probably like get the same container at like Lowe's or Home Depot for a fraction of it. Alright. Used almost that we pulled out on that shade. Alright, so we're done with that shade for now. We still have to put our shrubs in down in here, but we're not ready for that yet. Definitely not ready for that yet. Okay. Let's get our next shade out. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot on this one. We'll see. We will see. Do, 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 do. All right. Come on, glue. I know you're still in there. You can do it. I believe in your glue bottle. Alright. I don't know how much glue we're going to need for this section. So now we have to think about our highlights on our tree. And where are we going to put them? Like, we don't want to go too hard on it, because, you know, highlights. So this is going to be a lot of brush cleaning, because we're going to be a lot of quick small spots, and I don't want to just slap everything in at once, because I might not like where I placed it. So we're gonna try to tread this carefully. All right. So this is interesting so far. It's a little scary because this feels super bright. Does feel super bright. Alright. Well, we're not backing down now. We're gonna be brave. In the words of Chucky, we're gonna be big brave dogs. And we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna see what happens. Sorry, my stylus just kind of like pulled out almost entirely. The other end doesn't really do that, so I feel like something's... Oh, it did come out. Oh shit. That's a thing. So, that's definitely a thing. I was beginning to feel like there had been a stop on that. Apparently not. Alright. Okay, well, while that end is thinking about solidifying, if the tacky glue doesn't hold it, I have Gorilla Glue somewhere that will probably do what needs to be done. Or I have my hot glue gun. If it comes to it. That's sad. I was really enjoying that. Hopefully we can fix it. I think we can. I don't think it's unfixable. Okay. So while that's thinking about fixing itself, we will use the other end. Come here! Oh my god, why can't I grab this? Am I just missing it, or is there a problem? So I don't like this end very much. I like the smaller end better. But we're gonna have to let the smaller end chill for a few minutes. Getting this smooshed in here. And I do feel like the smaller end's a little more delicate. But, you know, this will have to do for now. And the next time we are out towards the Dollar Tree, I really should have grabbed 2 of them because they were $1. Just so I had a backup, but I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. And at the time I bought it, I really didn't have anything specific in mind that I was going to use it for. And then when I started to get back into this again, I was like, oh, I can use this for that. And yeah. Oh, I'm sad now. That's alright. It'll be okay. Alright, let's get our glue brush. Some more highlight section put in here. Alright. So let's try to keep moving here as best as we can. Not exactly what I wanted you to do, paper, but okay. Totally laid down in not the right spot. I guess it's the right spot now. You know, I suppose that's where it wanted to go. I don't think any amount of fussing with it is going to change its mind. Okay, I'm trying to work a little bit quickly just because my glue in my cup is starting to dry a little bit. Because it has been in there for a few minutes. Ah! Don't mind me, I'm just dropping tissue paper everywhere. Don't mind me, just making a royal mess. Never to be seen again. In the depths of the abyss under my desk. Alright. So it's coming along. I think. So it is a little bit of a slow process in this section especially. Because we're trying to figure out where we want the highlights to sit exactly. You know, we don't want to eat up our colors underneath because then it's just not going to look right. Alright. Next round we're going to need some more glue in our cap. Dry our brush dry, or brush. Okay. On smooshing this guy out in here. Now the big one doesn't seem to be lifting up too badly yet. It just could be the fact that I don't have that much glue residue on it yet. Could be one of those situations of give it time, give it time. But so I would still, if you're using a larger ended stylus or whatever you're using to move your stuff around, just every so often go ahead and wipe off the excess glue on it, just to prevent any potential issues. Might be a good idea. Alright. Just gonna keep on smooshing. Smooshy, smooshy. Alright. We are slowly making some progress here. Probably slower than most people would like to see, but you know what? Oh well. This is gonna take how long it's gonna take. Can't rush this stuff. I can't. So I'm sorry if that upsets you. But we move at a slower pace here. We explore the creative journey. And we take our time. Because we can. And it shouldn't be about rush, rush, rush to get a project done. Because I mean, if you rush through it, you might not be happy with it in the end. And this is the very real process that I go through. Am I happy with this? Do I want to change this? Do I like where this is going? Constantly evaluating. Constantly taking a step back and look at what you've got so far. Like, am I good with this? Right. This section filled in. I mean, if you're able to put together a project quickly, then that's awesome. I'm not. I am not a fast projector. Alright. So again, gonna clean the brush. Lots of brush cleaning today. Lots and lots. Because we're doing so much brush work today. Sometimes you're going to be using a glue brush a lot, sometimes you're not. Now, I probably technically don't have to use the brush. I could just apply the glue. Oh my goodness, now we can't talk. I could apply the glue directly to the project, and I do for some things, but in this section I wanted a little bit more control because I didn't want to completely saturate the area. Not for this particular part. Just wasn't part of the plan. I'm liking how things are coming out so far, doing what we're doing. So it's probably what we're gonna stick with. And we're almost done putting the highlights in. We should at least finish the leaves of the tree today. I'd like to put our fence in. And we might start our lake water. See how far we get. Because I know I'm a slow worker. And we've been working on this tree. Tree's leaves for 2 hours, so sorry about that. I know this isn't exactly riveting. But it's, you know, it's part of it. It's kind of why I am transferring this over to YouTube unedited, and I'm doing edited versions of other projects with it. Just so that, you know, you get more of a sense of how much goes into one of these. Now, granted, I'm only working on this on stream, so that's also going to add some time to the length of the project, because I'm not touching it off stream. So ordinarily this wouldn't take, like, it might not necessarily take 11 2+ hour sessions. You know, if I was doing this off stream, I'd probably be done by now, honestly. Or pretty darn close to. No, I probably would be done. So I'm trying to think of how long the other one took me to do, and that one was much bigger. I'm trying to give that small end a chance to really take hold before we start fussing with it and putting it through its paces again. Ah! And our first rip up on the big side of the stylus. That was unexpected. I had been doing good up to that point. I got sloppy with checking the, or complacent with checking the end of that stylus because it hadn't gotten any glue on it to where it was becoming a problem. So I stopped checking it as much. And that's when it goes sideways. Alright. So this week's stream schedule is gonna go a little something like this. Wednesday we're gonna do Bloodthirsty and Iron. Well, no, I'm sorry. Wednesday we're doing strictly Bloodthirsty. Okay. Thursday we're doing Stardew Valley. Friday we're doing Fire Festival stuff with the Iron Man. Okay. Saturday we're not doing anything. And then we'll have the art stream on Sunday. Alright, that's what this week is shaping up to look like. Alright. Probably should have grabbed some more glue. Didn't I say we needed to get more glue in here and then I completely forgot? But one part of me is like, no, there's more. There's just a little bit left. We can go ahead and snag it. Don't waste the glue. Alright. That down over there. You know what? We're looking pretty good here. Now, granted, our tree is a slightly different shade than the one in the reference image. The colors are a little different in the upper part as well. But you know what? That's okay. It's just the basic idea. Alright. Now we need some more glue. Make sure we got our blue nozzle all nice and clear so that doesn't cause any unnecessary problems. Got all these little bumps on my hand. I don't know what the heck they are. I don't know if they're bug bites. I haven't seen any fleas on the dog. And they look too small to be flea bites. Alright. It's probably good there. Not sure how much more glue we're gonna get out of that bottle. So it feels like it's getting kind of light. But we'll see. And like I said, I do have another bottle ready to go. Just in case, but I'm encouraged. At the distance I'm going to get out of one of these bottles. So we've gotten a fair distance out of this bottle, but then again, I'm really not sure how much was still in this bottle. Not 100% sure. Just painting our glue in place. Don't want to go too heavy with the highlight down this far. But I feel like it would have a little bit since there's some highlight on the tree in this section. What? What was that all about? Oh, doggos. Really, doggos? The doggos have spoketh. And they're like, lady. We have to potty. Is that what this is? Do you have to potty? That was such a sad whine. Yes, it was. Daddy's gonna get you, okay? Alright. They always whine at me when they want to go potty, so it's like, okay, if I'm in the middle of something, it's like you either have to A, wait for me, wait for Dadu, or go on your emergency potty pad.
That Ed has curled up into a circle.
Huh?
That Ed has squished into a tiny circle.
Where?
The pad?
Oh, I thought you said Ed was laying in a tiny circle. I was like, what?
No. Do you know where the things are? They are.
Sorry, I was not following the conversation. Yes, we have emergency potty pads down for the puppers, and the one cat is just very clean and neat and is constantly trying to cover up the potty pads, doing his instinctual catly duty, though he's the only cat that does it, to the potty pads of the puppers. We call him puppy number 3 because whenever we start talking to the dogs, boom, he's there. He's a similar color to the dogs, so he thinks he's one of the dogs. He must think his doggy daddies are just so messy and so uncivilized that they're not covering up their mess, and he squishes their potty pads up into a huge ball. And while terribly cute, it's also terribly frustrating because it's like, Ed, buddy, Ed, you don't need to do that. But thank you. But he's like, nope, I'm gonna do it. Alright. We're almost there on the tree highlight. Alright, so we need just a little bit more highlight in here, and then I think we'll be good on this. Alright. Scrubby, 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 the brushy, brushy, brush. Scrubby, 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 brushy, brushy, brush. Get all the glue, get out all the paint. We need to keep our paintbrushes straight. I don't know. I know it's terrible. I know it makes no sense. I know it doesn't really go. But you know what? Oh well. Welcome to the craziness. I'm harmless, I promise. Most of the time I'm hiding under my little rock. Afraid to come out because it's so people-y outside. Especially in this town. It's very people-y. And, what's the southern phrase? Bless their hearts to some of the people in this area. 'Cause, ooh. Like, alright then. Alright. Actually, that tacky glue might have done a bit of good on that one. Alright. So that looks pretty okay. Alright. Now we're gonna slide down in here. Alright. We're gonna put that shade back in its bag. Bag of holding. Alright. And we'll clip that with the other ones over there. Now I need, what do I need? I need my white tissue paper. These are the colors that I actually had twisted for a different project, for the trap floaty project. Alright, so we have to put our fence in. And so it's gonna kind of sit in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fence posts roughly. Alright. Don't really know how I want to approach this. Alright, so yeah, our tree doesn't look too bad. It's always good to take a step back, actually look at where we're at. We're getting the glue to come down the bottle. We're almost done with it, putting it in the cap. That should be enough for this section. Alright, so work on putting the glue in for our fence. It's a very odd fence because there's only a couple of fence posts on it. Alright, so let me degluify our brushy brush. Alright, so we're gonna need our scissors, most likely. These guys are a little big for what we want. These guys laid in place. That was a little small for what we're going for. And of course our fence is going to be all kinds of crooked and misshapen, you know, because it needs to be. We'll say it's a very old fence. Yes, a very old fence. Oh my goodness, there's like glue nastiness hanging off the edge of my desk from that linoleum laminate that we had to peel off earlier. I just really want it to be linoleum. Linoleum probably would have held up better. Alright. If we're gonna be completely honest, paintbrush. So it's okay if paper doesn't completely cover the glue in this section because it's going to dry clear. So that's not really an issue. Now where it dries it might be a little shiny, but our finish sealer on top will take care of any odd finishes. So gonna need okay. It's about that long. You know what? I guess we'll do this first. Get this guy laid in there. Where'd that teeny tiny little piece go? That's not quite teeny tiny enough. You go over there. Alright. So this we kind of do need to try to cut to size, or else it's gonna look kind of weird. So I'm gonna try to make sure we don't have any gaps that look too big. Now, get some more glue here. All right. Easy there, glue bottle. Don't have to get that unruly. Alright, so how much more do we think we need? We don't need that much for this section. Don't want to get too carried away. Alright. Ah! Tripping glue everywhere. Alright. And we'll get this guy. Alright. We'll get that cleaned out of the brush. Really good. Just kind of lining it up and then using my fingernail to try to hopefully make an indent in the right spot, I hope. Hopefully. I think I'd rather have it be a little longer than too short. We can work with it being a little long. All right. And I guess the smart thing to do would be to eyeball it off of the other. I'm going to be finding these little pieces of white tissue paper later, and I'm just going to completely forget where they came from and be like, why are these all over my desk? Not bad. Not 100%, but you know what? Not bad. You all can go that way. And put light back in that bag. So we don't need it just yet. We will need more white later when we do our water line, but for now, I think we're okay. Alright, so we're going to set that off to the side. Okay, now. Alright. So we've got those two, and I just want to look at my reference photo a little bit. Alright, okay. Alright, is this the right? Don't know if this is the right purple. Because we had that debacle in the beginning where I had two different shades of purple going. Got 4 different shades of purple. Is this that? I don't know. I'm not sure. Can you tick check them?
Hmm?
Can you tick check them?
Yeah, they've had their meds.
You didn't tell me you gave it to them.
Yeah, no, they got their meds about a week ago. And I kept them out of the tall grass too.
I think that's the right purple.
Maybe they go for it.
Okay.
Oh boy, we got to have some hot time. Now we got to have chicken
So
nuggets.
now,
Come on.
those dogs and their love of chicken nuggets, I swear. Alright. Okay, so let's clean up our glue bottle here, and then by proxy cleaning up me, because now I have the glue bottle, or the glue from the glue bottle all over me, because of course I do. Alright, so let's well, while that's thinking about doing something, let's readjust so we can see a bit of what we are doing. Nope. Alright. Okay, that should be good. So we got our little fence guy in. He looks so cute. Okay. And now we're gonna work on getting the glue to where it needs to go. We might just get it to cooperate. Okay. We're gonna start to lay in our water. And just spreading this out so we can get a little bit more distance. On our glue here, because this is thick boy glue, and that's fine. We want it to be somewhat thick boy glue, so that way it grips what it needs to grip, but spreading it out will give us a little bit more coverage, I think. We don't want to spread it too thin though, because then it might dry faster than you can work if you put too much down. So remember to only spread as far as you think you're gonna get. You can always put more down. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but just, you know, keeps you from wasting too much supply, in case that's a problem for you. And you know, we know money's tight. Money can be very, very tight at times. Trust me, I know. I'm not just bullshitting you. I know money can be tight. Now, if Tacky Glue is a little out of your price range, you probably could get by with like Elmer's school glue or the equivalent. You're just going to want to let the glue set or sit for a couple of minutes before you start putting your paper in. And I would work in smaller sections so that way you can give it a chance to start to get a skin on it so it will actually grip your paper. It's one of the reasons why I prefer using Tacky Glue, especially this one. Using Elaine's original Tacky Glue for this, not sponsored. Just because it has the grip and I'm not constantly fighting with it. If you go with a thinner glue, you will have a little bit of fussing that you're going to need to do. So, like you might need to let it start to get a little bit of a skin on it, start to get a little bit tacky before you start putting your paper into it. You might have to hold it in place a little bit to make sure that it's not going to pop back up. I mean, I've had it pop back up with the Tacky Glue before sometimes, but I've had it pop up more with like Elmer's, but it is still doable. If that's what you have access to, it is still doable. Just be prepared, you might have to put a little more effort into getting it to do what you want it to. Alright. So we're just taking our paper snakes from before and just kind of laying them in place. This should be the same purple that we did the cloud circles with. And since this is a reflection in the water, we want it to be the same. So that's important. I should probably be making these straight, but I'm not, so there could be some visual issues later, but I'm making it straight where I can. Alright. And now it's going to come down to how you see your reflection. What parts of the sky do you see reflecting down into the water? Where do you want what to sit? So if you see more pink in the water, great, do more pink. This is going to really be how you're gonna see it. If you see more more foliage in your water, heck, go for that. This is your doodle. And while we are trying to sort of recreate a painting that already exists, you know, we do want to, it'll never be the exact. We don't really want it to be the exact. We want it to be a little different, because then it'll have our personal flair and touch to it. So I did take that around the curve, but I probably shouldn't have. I should have probably took that straight across. So that's gonna be a little bit of a rough angle to fix. Let's get some scissors here. Let's get our skizzers. Our skizzers. Alright. Yes, I know they're pronounced scissors, but sometimes I like to pronounce them skizzers. Leave me be. Sometimes we pronounce things silly. So, just gonna... Remember, we want to push down on our snaky doos just to make sure they're actually sitting and touching the canvas surface and not raising up too far. Because sometimes that can happen when you're pushing against the other ones. You'll have some slide up underneath. And while that's fine, you still want to make sure... I mean, it's fine, it's going to happen, but you do want to make sure that there is contact, at least to some degree, with the canvas surface, so it has something to grip onto, and so it doesn't just kind of hang out up in the air. So you're probably going to get glue on your fingers, just keep that in mind. This is probably something that will happen. But we are using Tacky Glue, and it is water-based, so it will wash off or peel off if you're a peeler. It's much safer than hot glue. We don't run the risk of burning ourselves with this stuff. Alright. Work on getting our lighter purple in place here. Now I know I'm going a little differently than what our color key looked like. That's fine. This is just how I started to see this lining up. And the color key was more of a mere suggestion of where the stuff was supposed to go. It's not like the world's gonna end if I don't follow it to a T. I mean, I put the color key in there, so it's okay if I decide to change it. You know, if you put a color key in so that you don't have to constantly be looking up at a different reference image, you want to change it, change it. It's your project. So what? It's gonna be okay. You're allowed to change it. No one's going to have a meltdown because you changed it. It's gonna be okay. I promise. And if somebody gives you a hard time because you changed it up on yours, tell them to step off. It was your project. If they don't like how you do it, they're more than welcome to do their own. And when they do their own, they can do it how they want to do it. Alright. Getting this smooshed in there. Feel like we need a little bit more purple, light purple. To be specific. Hopefully that repair job that we did on the stylus will continue to hold. I've still been using the bigger end for right now, just to give that a little bit more dry time. Hopefully that will make that... Oh goodness, I'm sorry. No matter where I put this microphone, I am constantly hitting it. Apologies. Accidente. Didn't mean to. Completely an accident. How about we sit you up there so I'm not tempted to do that by accident again. Alright. So our glue is actually starting to dry in this part, so I kind of figured it was going to dry faster in this section because it wasn't as thick. So that is something you have to consider. Is can you get it all in before the glue dries? And again, it's not a huge deal if the glue does dry on you to the point where it's not gonna accept you putting anything down in it. We can put more glue on. Not a huge thing. Alright, let's get some more glue going here. I think we're gonna do this section next. If we can get the... Let's turn Z there. There we go, Z. That's a little better. A little bit more in frame. Maybe someday we'll have glue come out of our glue bottle. Maybe. Patience is everything, right? When dealing with glue and when playing WoW challenges. Kinda, sorta. Alright. So I don't want to go too ambitious. I think we can get this section though. I don't think this will be too big. I think this is doable. Okay. Alright. Does feel like we're starting to run out of glue in that bottle though. Do you think it's finally starting to happen? Alright. Get this all spread around. Alright, so we might do this mostly the dark purple, but I think I want to get a little bit of the light purple in there. Alright, let's clean in the brush. And then letting that dry. Okay. Oh, twisted that in the wrong direction. Wasn't sure which way that one was twisted. Apparently it was twisted in the other direction. Oh, we still have to put our water line in, but I think we'll worry about that towards the end, I think. Probably be one of the last remaining things that we end up doing. Alright. Stick this guy in there. So it probably should be a little bit darker towards the outer edges. That's why we're going with the darker purple here. Almost a darker glue. That would have made a whole lot of sense, wouldn't it? Darker purple. Darker purple. Okay. Just gonna squish that in place. Smoosh it on up in there. So I do have a couple of stubborn spots where it's not really wanting to lay down. And we've got a couple of gaps. So if there's some problematic gaps, you can just take another piece of your paper, just kind of lay it in the gap. A little bit more paper. Don't you remember I built this city on rock and roll? I know, my singing's terrible. I'll stop. Like I said, this playlist is kind of all over the place. I just wanted to get a little bit of our lighter purple in here. Okay. Let's get this guy laid in here. I'm going to use the smaller end just to kind of get him seated right in there. So in this instance, you might need to snip your paper into a size that's going to fit better for you in that particular spot. This is a good song. Remember. What's some of your classic favorite songs? I grew up in the 80s. Well, I don't know how old this song is, actually. A lot of good songs from then, though. And even before then. Putting on the Ritz. That was a good one. Oh, there was another one that had a really kind of creepy music video to it. Well, it creeped me out. It probably didn't creep anybody else out, but it kind of weirded me out a bit. I can't remember the song. And honestly, I can't remember who sang it, but it was something about time. And there were things on the walls that were singing with the dude, like pictures or like stuffed animal heads, and I cannot remember the name of that song now. It's oh, I don't even remember who sang it. That's gonna bug the crap out of me for the rest of the day. So I've got nothing but time. Trying to remember who the F sang it. It was very 80s music video. Just like sitting in a room. Inanimate objects on the walls start singing along. And then, you know, there's the classic, get out of my dreams and get into my car song. I don't really know the band names because I was really too young to pay attention to the band names at the time, but like I kind of know the way the songs went for the most part. I mean, of course some stuff's been lost to the abyss of my brain in time. Didn't really pay attention to that much in the way of music videos. Like, I don't really watch that much TV. What TV I did watch was usually when I was trying to go to sleep. So I'm a very anxious sleeper. So it would sort of distract me some nights so I could fall asleep. So, the only thing that would be on TV that late, though, would be like Nick at Night. So it would be like the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Dragnet with Joe Friday. That was a favorite. They would play I Love Lucy, but I'm not really a big Lucy fan, sorry. It would give me all sorts of anxious vibes whenever she messed something up and she was like, oh, Ricky's gonna be so mad. I'm like, oh, I'm so anxious now. So it was not an enjoyable anxious. I'm trying to think of what else was on there that they had for a time. Like, I can see the photo of, I think maybe Laverne and Shirley. My brain is calling up the two chicks that worked in the factory together. I think that was Laverne and Shirley. That might have been on there for a brief period of time. Maybe. Love the Golden Girls. Sophia is just a whole mood in and of her own. and Blanche with her I'm not a slut, but I'm totally a slut moments. I think my favorite was an episode where she was so effing sleep deprived because she had been up for like 2 days straight writing. And she's like so excited because she finished her book. And then she's like, but I don't know if I'm gonna let anybody read it because it's too good to just let anybody read. And so she ended up letting, who was it? Was it Dorothy or was it, oh, was it Dorothy or was it Rose who was in the kitchen? And she's like, but I'm gonna make a special exception for you. And she let them read it. And they're trying to read it and make sense of it. And she's just laying there with her head on the table, staring at the table. It might have been Rose. And, I think it was Rose, actually, because what happens next was a very Rose thing to do. And I think Rose was baking. And whatever she was baking called for egg whites. And she didn't want to get rid of the egg yolks. And so she was putting them in a Ziploc bag, and I think she was going to freeze them for the homeless or something. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're sitting in a Ziploc bag on the table, and Blanche is just so overtired, delirious, that she's looking at this bag of egg yolks, and she's like, I think she said something about being so delirious, she's like, there's little balls of sunshine in a bag. And I was just like, I don't know, for some reason the way it was delivered, it just killed me. Because I do feel that vibe, because there have been times where I have been that fucking tired, where I just start hallucinating shit and seeing stuff that's not what it actually is. I'm just like, oh gosh. And I'd also watch Designing Women. I know that's not a popular one. It wasn't as good as the Golden Girls. They were kind of on, like, back to back, sort of. Like, you had to sit through one to get to the other at times. And, or maybe they were a different channel. I don't fully remember now that I'm thinking about it. I remembered watching them both, though. But, Designing Women wasn't as good as the Golden Girls. They were in basically a class of their own. Alright. We're slowly getting there. I don't think we're gonna finish the water today, because I've been talking for 3.5 hours now, and my voice is starting to definitely feel that I've been talking for 3.5 hours now. I don't normally talk this much. I don't, I promise. I think this will be the majority of my speaking for the day. Alright. What time is it? Almost 5. Okay. That laid in there. Seeing a few gaps down in here. If we have any major gaps, we can always come back in. With some more colors after it dries and we see where the gaps are actually sitting. And we can always touch them up then. So not a huge problem. As I keep putting my hands in the glue. I think that's gonna solve anything. Alright. Yes, I do think we're probably going to wrap up after this section for today. Because I'm starting to feel it. My back and neck are like, we're done. They are waving for the waiter and they are yelling, check please. Alright. But you know what? We made some decent progress today. I wasn't too sure we were gonna make it to working on the water today, but I'm glad that we did. It was definitely helpful. And lovely that we got to start work on that. We got our tree pretty much done. Might need another placement or two later, but I think I'm good with it. We'll have to see how it looks after I've walked away from it for a little bit. But I don't think we're gonna need to really adjust anything on it. I think we're good. in that respect. Alright, need just a couple of more. Not too many. That piece in there was being a little fussy. Alright, you know what? I think that's good. I think that's good for today. Next week we'll try to finish up the water. I think we can. I tried to get this all, 12 is a good number to round this out on, I think. I think that's a good place to wrap things up for today, and then I think next week we'll be able to finish out the water. We should be able to make fairly quick work of that, and then we'll put in our missing shrubs in here and in here. Maybe we can make them into cattails or something. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. So let's get a better look. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's get a better look at what we've got going on here. Nope. Oh, my life for a zoom button. Alright, so this is where we stand so far. There we go. So yeah, we are... Look out, Zed. Good work today. So yeah, we've got our tree in, we got our tree highlights in, we got our fence in, and we've started work on our water. And yeah. So once again, this week's stream schedule is going to be Wednesday for Bloodthirsty only this week. Thursday is going to be Stardew Valley. Friday is going to be Fire Festival Friday with the Iron Challenger. We'll dedicate the whole day to going around and hitting the bonfires on that one, because Midsummer Fire Festival starts tomorrow for for World of Warcraft. But we're gonna take the WoW Iron Man out on Friday and hit up the fires. Not doing anything on Saturday, and then Sunday will be art once again. So thank you guys very much for your time today. I do greatly appreciate it. It means a lot, even if you're only able to pop in for a couple of minutes. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to hit the follow button. And for those that are curious about this project from start to finish, that is over on my YouTube channel. I mean, obviously we haven't finished it just yet, but I am exporting all of the streams over to there so that you can see this one. This is going to be on the Nisey Paints playlist, okay? So that's where that one's gonna live. So you guys have a great night. Again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, or the moms standing in as dads. You know who you are, and even the pet papas, because you still have fur children as well. Have a great afternoon. Hope your work week goes by pretty painlessly. And until Wednesday, have a good one.